Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing. My name is Zach, joined as always by Lane, the legend Kramer. Lane, how are we doing today? What are we unboxing?
Well, today we will be unboxing Captain Rex from the Ahsoka show, from the live action flashback. So it was the first time we've ever had the Rex and the Rex armor actually done in live action format. So that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
reasons I actually gave away my old Rex, my Clone Wars one, and picked up this guy.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like and everything. And there'll be no head sculpt with this one. But I guess the big thing with this one that kind of is what set me over the edge picking him up was that there's switch out armor for phase one,
Yeah.
baby.
Never
And I
thought
mean
we'd see
not
the
just the
day.
helmet. I mean like actually the chest armor and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was kind of now I'm a little afraid for trying to switch them to stuff because it's like the leg pieces, so you have to take off the feet and stuff.
Yeah.
So that part has me a little bit like,
Your arch nemesis.
yeah. I've never. What are you talking about? I've never had a problem with clone feet before. Alrighty. Well, anyway, so we're going to be taking a look at this guy tonight. So he's going to come with some more stuff than say last week. I did unfortunately, have to make a sacrifice before we get going here is because I had mentioned I had the airborne trooper coming. So I did get the airborne trooper. First off, why is my suit already in the guest room? This is my main room. This is where I'm at for everything. Um, but I did get the airborne trooper, but I actually had to sell him this week because I did have an emergency vet visit last week and got charged today for Han Solo. So I had to make sure I had money enough so I could get Han Solo this week because as much as I wanted that airborne trooper, Han Solo is a much more important figure to make sure I
Which
get my
Han
hands.
Solo was it? The Endor one or Return of the
Return
Jedi?
of the Jedi. Oh yeah, and
Nice.
it's Han from my favorite Star Wars movie. So
That's your favorite Star Wars movie, bro?
oh yeah, Return of the Jedi. I was always been my favorite.
Did you ever watch
All
The
of them.
Acolyte?
Yeah, unfortunately,
What the hell?
I hated that show.
What the helly? Dude, I hope they give us a Chimera Black. We just got the Black Series this week. Dude, I'm hoping we get the Hot Toys. I will day one, bro. Day one pre-order the Hot Toys.
I can say I
Show
can
my boy
definitely
Chimera
pass
some
on that.
love.
Well, now to be fair, Chimera I think was the coolest character in the show, and
It's
his
I
lightsaber
love it.
duels. I that's the one thing I will give that show is that
Dude, the
much
duels
more
were
even than
dope.
like Ahsoka or something like that. Even that show did something different with the lightsaber battles. Tying in
Yeah.
some of kind of that much more kind of the Wuza or Zuya,
Bless you.
kind of Chinese Peking opera style of fighting and stuff, weapon fighting, tied that
Tiger,
in
Hidden
kind
Dragon.
of more. Yeah, with like that.
Toy
Kind of,
Mafia.
yeah.
You're stupid, Toy Mafia.
Uh,
All right, Elaine, let's open this bad boy up.
yeah.
Just crack them open.
So here we have the usual blue covering and stuff like that. It's Ahsoka line, which is done. Now, I mean, we haven't gotten all of them in yet with Anakin, but all 14 or 15, what was it, 15 figures?
15? God damn.
Was it? I know it was 14, but I think it was 50, it was either 14 or 15. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly with the Death Trooper exclusive. But they went hard and deep on this series, maybe more than they should have. But I decided to get this guy instead of Captain Enoch because I kind of canceled Enoch and switched it over to this guy. But here we can see phase one, which is kind of surprisingly because I like phase two much more than phase one armor, but it's kind of what I'm really interested to see here. So he's going to be more than your average figure. Now here we have. Now I will say, for all even if you remember last week we saw with Clone Commando Boss, this is probably one of the most boring, like insert artwork that we've had for a figure for a while. Like this is just him phase two standing there. Like that's like what? Why isn't Ahsoka Padawan or Obi-Wan or Anakin or somebody maybe else mixed in here. They still have, they still have the map icon that they've used for all the figures. Yeah. But so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But hey, if that's the only thing that we kind of go, then I will consider this figure a win. Oh my God. The first thing we can say right now, look, guys, there's more than 4 hands for this guy coming with a trooper figure. Can you believe it? I almost can't. I want to pass out. So here we've got just the one tray. We're going to have, obviously, Rex. We're going to have his alt helmet. There's no head sculpt up for this guy because in the show we did not see Tamora Morrison CGI or something version of his head. And then most of the rest of this is going to be the weapons and the switch outs for phase 1. I guess for this, the actual plastic parts and everything are attached to the armor. But I can say already, I do like what they're doing with this. So
what's up, Robin?
We will take off this. Now, hey, for chat, as you're watching here, and this is for you too, Zach, if you had anything, obviously we had a lot of conversions, especially for Star Wars this week, like Han Solo. We also had pretty good number of those artisan Anakins, waitlist conversions. There were several different figures. Did anybody in chat, today I got charged for Han Solo. I'd be interested to hear, did any of you guys get any conversions or either conversions for maybe that Anakin, or did you this week, are you guys doing final payments for any of the recent figures? I think Kit Fisto, some people had some, him was coming in, all that kind of stuff. Hold on one second. Just if you guys got something. Oh, so Sean, you got a conversion on 212. That's cool. Like I just said, I had to sell my guy to make sure that I had enough money for Han because he was very important. So one thing, Zach, I'll make you. So this figure, the reason there's more hands is because they have switch outs for both phase 1 and phase 2 hands. Because there's going to be different things here on the armor. So you can see here, this is trigger hand for phase 2. But you can see the dashes here for clankers that were taken out. The phase 1s won't have any of that detail on it. So they actually did disseminate between phase 1 and phase 2. So they made sure to give him multiple different trigger hands for both. So you're going to have these here, which will be these 3, which will be the phase 2, along with in the box will be phase 2. But I think this is really nice looking, that they made sure to include just those grooves and everything for his kills that he did. And there's some pretty good paint chipping, other stuff like that in the blue streaks mixed in with that. To compare, so here you have phase 1 trigger hand, where you can see there's just the paint is definitely, it's still kind of a little bit like it was painted on the armor, it wasn't originally printed on or something like when he was given it, but it's a nice distinguishing between the two different types and how you're going to figure out. Now the fact too that they basically include all the same hands for both ways. There's 2 trigger, you'll have a hand gesture, and the 2 relaxed hands.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, no.
They typically, I feel would be greedy and only give you
one thing for
one
each
of
or
each,
something.
or that's
like for some reason there'd be one this kind of gesture hand, there'll be a relaxed hand, and then one fist. And there's not a fist for phase 2 or something like that. They always do stuff like that. But the paintwork, everything like that on the actual gloves is really nicely detailed and everything. You can kind of see, I like when they do this, you can kind of see here into the grooves and stuff, into the actual glove work and stuff, gives it some extra detail. I think it's really nice. So far, just from the hands, man, I'm feeling positive about this, that they gave you both. So this is a good first start. And this guy was about 260. So, obviously probably similar trooper range. I mean, $5 more than the Airborne, but that one actually came with a pretty good amount of stuff. Okay. So here we're going to get out. Take a look at some.
I'm glad that they fixed that weird green tint that the first one had.
Yeah, that's it. Now, so I can take a look here, just looking. This already, I can tell, is the one thing that is stupid. His pouch here, the weapon pouch, it's attached to the actual pauldron. It is so super long. It's ridiculously long. But it's now, being that said, that is accurate to the show, because the show was extra, for some reason, this huge and extra long with the pauldron.
His fucking pistols were huge too. Motherfucker had Nerf guns on his fucking head.
Yeah, I mean, like
super soakers.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I can say. I looked and went, wow, that's really freaking huge. Now, first off, here, guys, we'll take a look at the Phase 1 helmet, and damn, this looks good. So here we have Phase 1. So just remember that this is live, based off the Ahsoka show live action version with the styling. Targeter, everything like that has function out, it's got some articulation. So if you want to put it down, you can. I have heard, now I think, from what I understand, and anyone in chat, you guys can comment this on me, because honestly, I don't pay attention that much exactly with this, but I think, isn't the mouth plate supposed to be a little bit more accurate here with this to actually how they were in the earlier Clone Wars and everything? I know that with some of the Phase 1, the shinies and stuff that came out for Attack of the Clones, they weren't exactly, and Hot Toys seemed to have had an issue getting them exactly to match up. But you can see the blue plane, everything like that. This is obviously a little bit cleaner looking and everything, because this is supposed to be at the beginning of the Clone Wars, before he's gotten through a lot of the fighting and everything. Really like the helmet here, though. It looks really nice. They did a good job with this. And guys, if you got, just as I'm going through, if I start going too fast or something, or you want to see something a little bit more up close, let us know. We'll be checking through the chat. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the accessories, because they're kind of the big thing with him. So the blasters itself, so this is the usual blaster pistols. Now, these I think are a little bit different, because this is more along the style like what you had in Kenobi and stuff, where they're a little bit smaller than some of the Clone Wars versions of the way the guns and stuff have been done. I can see also kind of with the gunmetal, it's a little bit different with the coloration and everything from the paint on both of these. It's a little bit more subdued, the gunmetal. Okay, so yeah, it's supposed to be the slit, more of a slit. Okay, that's what I thought, Sean. Yeah, which is more accurate to the original source material. Okay, get this bitch out. I'm also interested to see with him how the gun holsters are, to see if because one of the things is a lot of the clones that have had the holsters, like the ARC troopers and other Rex and some of the commanders, is that they're a lot of times really loosey-goosey on the figures, the actual holsters and stuff on the figures, which can be a real pain in the ass. But here you can still see the kind of the base DC blaster pistols. I really do like the paint on them. There's plenty of detail on there. Not reinventing the wheel, because we've seen these blasters a bunch of times, but they both came out looking very nice. And then we've got, obviously, everybody's favorite DC-15. Now this, though, is a lot more smaller, kind of the more along the lines of the style that we saw for some of the blasters, the blaster rifles from the Kenobi, 501st. You remember it, because I really like those. The 501st Clone Trooper, where I didn't really care exactly for so much the coloration of the armor, but the blasters being smaller, so they actually could be held by real people. I actually did like that quite a bit because they were also really easy to fit into the hands, which can be a big thing with troopers. But the detail here is really nice. Um, and then, I mean, there isn't too much beyond that. Now we have, so here's going to be, so this is all the switch out stuff that you can do for this figure. Obviously, we've got the shin guards. These are phase one, so you'll be able to switch these out on the figure directly so that they'll fit a little bit better. I'm still uncertain a little bit with that kind of switch out and stuff. Now you've got, and when I pull the figure out, we can compare kind of so you can see more closely the differences. So here you've got also for the forearms, the armor pieces, which will be different so that they help match up with the hands, with the paint and stuff. So the paint is a little bit more crisp, I think, and everything. And we'll see here, we'll compare kind of once we get the main figure out. But both look really good. I do like how they've done this. And then this is kind of, I guess, the big capper, which is going to be the chest armor. So you can see here that the Poltron is going to be a little bit different. They've got it like kind of attached to the body armor up here front. So the actual Poltron looks pretty nice and clean. Just like you can see here on the chest, no real battle scarring. There's a little bit of scratching and stuff on it, so it still looks lived in a little bit, but in comparison to some of the other armors we've seen. So basically what you end up doing is going like this. It'll unhook. And then you're just going to stick it back together like that, and it'll lock around the body. Nice and simple. So I am going to switch out to the phase one tonight, or at least the chest armor. We'll see like how everything goes. But that's kind of the switch outs, everything that comes within. Gonna move him here for a second. And then this, of course, is one of the newer things that they did with some other figures of this line. Hey, look, guys. It is actually a sand base without feet.
With no fucking footprints, bro.
Like, wow. And look, it's a little bit like, other than the standard tattooing, like they would put for like look and everything, there's a little bit darker shading and stuff to the sand. I think it actually looked a little bit more realistic with the sand. And then you've got Star Wars Captain Rex. You know, this actual base is pretty heavy with this stuff extra on it. This extra for having the sand part of the base. This is actually decently heavy. Putting this in the wrong way. So, okay. That back for the moment. Set that back. Okay. Alright. So far, so good. So far, guys, I have to say, I am liking what I am seeing from this one. I think it is looking pretty solid here. Right. So, we're going to move this out of the way. And now we're going to get to Rex himself. Hands, move there. Now, I know like last week I tried to make it a little simpler on myself where I removed some of the plastic stuff ahead of time. Unfortunately, this time I did not do that, which I'm probably going to regret a little bit not doing that beforehand, especially because this is very tight around on the arms and the hand. Whoops. Ooh, well, that's definitely not good. The peg came out. Oopsie.
God damn it, Lane.
It's really tight on this hand.
All right, hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna need to see if I can get something.
Eddie says, how many points of articulation? Probably like 30, 40, like the normal figures.
Yeah, that's about right here. This plastic is so tight on this hand, it is ridiculous. Let's see here. If I
You gonna turn your camera on so we can see what you're doing?
just trying to cut the plastic real quick, but okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so that's place. This, we're going to take a little different approach.
Do you have like a beard trimming scissors, Lane? Like the real small, sharp ones?
No, I don't at all.
God damn it, Lane. Careful, my dear boy.
Yep. Okay. All right. All right, we got our little bit of surgery done there.
We did it.
So now where we were leaving off. So here we have the Rex figure directly. So as you can see here, a similar look to some previous Rex. Now, the one thing you are going to notice with this guy is that the actual Poltron is really tiny in comparison to the Clone Wars version. Or if you're if you have one of the ARC Troopers, or going to have fives come like this, I'm not sure why the Poltron is so small in the live action version, because even like the phase 1. So this is so you can kind of see them next to each other. The phase 1 here, they're both pretty small overall on the figure itself. Not bad, but you know, I'm sure there was something with just the armor for live action. So if you can see here, as we looked at before, so you've got the big ammo pouch here, which is attached to the actual thing, I think by Velcro here. You can definitely see versus what we looked at before. It's not super detailed, so if you like a lot of the battle damage type stuff, the Clone Wars one definitely has a lot more of that than this one. They do have some paint and stuff like that, like here at the bottom. You can see it here on the shoulders and stuff. There is a little bit, some of the weathering, scratching. Versus the phase 1 helmet, you can see here, like they've still got the details for the clanker kills on the side. There's a little bit more like weathering and stuff on it for the helmet. You have the dirt and stuff there on the front of the phase 2. So you're definitely seeing more of the action and everything that he's seen since the earlier one. Now, one thing for this with this release is you can see here there's wiring on the comma, so you can actually like put it into posing and everything, unlike the Clone Wars version.
Yeah.
Which is cool if you want to put him in an action pose or something. Hey Ross, thanks for joining us tonight. I think that is really cool. That's one of the things I really like with him. Here. These off. You guys can see him a little bit more standing now. So the armor here of it says similar look to clones. So here you can see a little bit more weathering here on the thighs and everything, a lot of dirt, everything. Makes sense. Now, one thing I will say, and I know some other reviewers and stuff for the figure, is that there's like on the chest, some other pieces, there's a pretty decent amount of weathering, but like on other parts of the armor, it doesn't really match up as well. And like the phase 1 actually seems to match up a little bit better overall with the figure. Here you've got with like the back, the belt. They're pretty clean overall. So I think they may actually match up better. I've heard like the phase 1 armor seems to match up a little bit better overall with the figure. Now, okay. So just testing out here real quick. The now the side here holsters are definitely, they're still kind of loose, but they're a lot longer than the ones on like the old Rex. So they seem to accommodate the blasters.
They look so stupid in my opinion.
These ones? Yeah, but they actually hold the guns fully and in place. Which I care about more.
Did the original ones not?
Well, they could, but they for ankle pivot. So kind of standard clone movement ability for him. but we'll be switching some of this out. Okay, so we're going to put him here for a moment, and I am going to check out the instructions because I'm going to see now exactly how we're going to. Now, my really only concern for this is what is the head ball joint? Is it just a regular ball joint, or is it one of those stupid, see-through plastic ones that I hate?
If it's a see-through plastic one with no purrs, that's fucking stupid. That's so stupid if it is.
Because it's a helmet. It's not a head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. They said it was because of the eyes they had to do that other design.
Okay, so we're switching out the chest armor. You take the head off. Okay, because the chest armor itself felt pretty easy to do. So we'll start with that. Okay, so it's just a regular ball. So that at least will be easy. Okay. All right. So you guys can see here. I'm gonna guess this is on the inside. There's a little.
How is it attached there at the edges? Like between the front and the back halves, is there Velcro or?
Yeah, there's Velcro here. Yes.
Yeah, no. Like the shell. Like, how does the shell stay closed? I guess.
Through these springs.
Does it feel pretty good?
Yeah,
it looks pretty good. Dude, I
really
love that.
Easy. Yeah. So
that's not bad at all.
No, well, this is something. If they did this for this, I'd like to see if they can do it for other troopers. If they did this Rex, they can do, I don't know, if they do 212 or something like that or whatever. They have, okay, so need to. See, okay, that's all it took right there to switch out the lower armor here. Then let's see what's next. So we'll switch out hands and let's see here. So I want to make sure I put on the correct ones. No, just make sure. Okay, so this is not the one I was having. Let's put that there. Sit this on here. Okay, so then we'll have one of the hands. And I like, you know what I like with this too? Is by having the same type of hands, they make it relatively easy to figure out what goes where. You can just, switch them into the spots for the other ones if you're switching one of the phases. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Okay. Ugh, this is a pain. Seems like
you still trying to get that ball joint out?
Yeah, it feels like it might be.
Please don't break that ball joint live.
Yeah, no. So it goes back in there, but trying to pull it out. Seems to be stuck maybe in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, this is actually the first time I've ever had this happen before.
Where it's stuck in the hand?
Yeah, like that. They can get it back into the arm fine, but trying to get. So if anybody in chat, have you guys had where you've had one of the ball joints get stuck in one of the hands? What's the best way to, be able to extricate it? Well, I can get it back in, no problem. But it's trying to get it.
Teeth.
Trying to get it out is the problem. Pete? Okay.
Bite it, Lane. Use them tiger teeth, Lane.
I'm trying to grab it by the ball, not the actual joint itself. I don't want to break that. But let me try something here. Let's see. Oh, we were doing stuff smoothly.
You jinxed it, bro.
What can I say? My hands are now like all kind of clammy a little bit, so it's making it tough to grab stuff.
Why are you trying to change the hand? Like, is it pivotal to have that second hand, or?
Well, it said matches up phase 1, phase 2.
I'd rather you just have that hand than break it, trying to match the hand.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that later.
I just don't want you to break it or feel stressed. You have to do it live.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for right now, so this isn't going to match up totally right now, but we're going to have phase 1 on with phase 2. Okay. Now, let's see here. We will switch out this back time being. We'll go for one up. Bless our hands. Okay. So now we can see here, we have one of the phase 1 hands with the phase 1 armor, and then not matching up completely right now, but we've got the phase 1 relax hand with the phase 1, right? These 2 relax hand with the phase 1 armor. So far, so good. Now here comes the most interesting part, which is going to be the legs here. So let's put in place. Okay. So this, so you can guys can kind of see, you got the dirt, grime, and then also some more of the line stuff for kills. Go. You're looking good here, guys, except for just one hand.
We're
That
cooking
is something
now, baby.
Okay, get this set up kind of in the middle. Now for the final coup de grace. Oh. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So with any movement now, I give you guys phase 1, Captain Rex.
Nice.
Yeah, you might be right there, Mafia. Yeah, so we got phase 1 here. I think he looks better at phase 1. So what we're gonna do now, since I'm a little bit, let's see here. So what we'll do. The one thing I will say, he does not have a lot of leg motion here. So I'm kind of surprised there's not a lot of give with them.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of surprised by, because most troopers, there's usually a pretty decent level of give. At least especially with the lower body. But like Boss, I had a lot more movement ability with this guy. So we're going to switch this out. Or blaster hand. Let's see. So, phase 1, blaster hand. Let's go with that rifle. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to switch it. The other hand. Okay. John, blaster hand. Yeah, probably. That's probably a good idea. All right. So this root, get you stuck in there for the time being, and we'll go right here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Get him a little bit more out. That. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. Give me a second, guys, here, and we will get you a viewpoint of Captain White. Okay, so here we're going to get up close. As you can see the whole thing here. Oh.
Oh my gosh. Man down.
There we go. So Rex here, probably gonna need him fiddle with his head some more, so he's not slent over quite so much. But you can see here, my only criticism really of just a general look to this is the pauldron. It's just really small on both of the chess pieces. But especially this leg, the body on this, I'm wondering a little bit on the body for this because there's not really a whole lot of flexibility to the legs at all. They can bend at the knee and everything just fine, but you can see how much cleaner, as we were looking at earlier, just so you guys kind of see the difference, like for the phase one here, what the Hot Toys tried to do. This is so you can see, this is the comparison of the phase one with the phase two. Just how much dirtier and everything, and just with the like kill shot, all that kind of stuff where it's not on the phase one. That I think they did a really nice job differentiating these two. It doesn't, a little bit maybe with some of the paint being kind of kind of cracked and not quite as complete here. That may not completely match up. And then you can kind of see there's some of this, but like the scratching here on the upper thighs armor makes more sense kind of with the phase 1 than it does with the phase 2. That's maybe like kind of the only thing with it. But I like the blasters. I think they did a really nice job with this figure. The switch out armor pieces, this absolutely, I think they don't, after doing it on this Rex, like they need to have that for other figures and for a decent price point. So they managed to put this Rex out with phase 1 and those, not, and it can be just it doesn't have to be the whole stupid armor set, but this kind of like being able to switch out the chest armor so easy and stuff. There's no excuse now that they can't do that for other figures. That will add more value to something like the Clone Troopers or something if they can add armor pieces and they can keep it at a price point that's reasonable. I don't think that's too much to ask for after seeing this Rex. So for me, this Rex, I'm going to definitely say, despite some of the shortcomings and some of the issues with the ball joint there, which I'm just going to have to mess around with a little bit, I'm going to say probably 8.5, 8.7 out of 10 for this guy. I think that now I'm going to classify that probably more amongst like trooper figures and stuff. I'm not going to say like, do I think this is better than, Luke Skywalker or main character, like, one of the Darth Vaders that I've got in the last year. Like, I'm not going to be that crazy, but I think they did a really nice job. And if you guys are looking for a Rex, now admittedly, it's not going to totally match up just because it's based off a specific, live action for in the show for 30 seconds version of Rex. If you are looking for a Rex figure, I think this guy being priced $260 and everything, and with the switch outs for it, if you're more of a live action collector, like you need that, it needs to be a live action version or from a live action property or show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you can find, now he is waitlisted, so that is going to be a little bit of a problem. But if you can find him for retail for $260, I think he would be a really good clone trooper to go with. He doesn't match up color-wise completely, but if you have some of the 501st Kenobi, I think he would be a good thing that you could put with it, kind of thing. So he'd probably be one I would recommend if you don't own a Rex. If you already have the Clone Wars one, I would probably say stick with that one. But there are things about this one that are better, and obviously you have the switch outs and stuff, where if you can find them, he should be only about $5 more retail than the old one was. So
yeah,
I think he doesn't have head sculpt, but for me, for troopers, like I never put the head sculpts on him. So anyway, I think this was a good unboxing. So you guys know, I have already been made aware that my LCS has received Episode 1 Darth Maul 2.0. It's the one not with the Sys meter. That will be, as long as they have it and it's in one piece, that is what we will be opening next week. I can 100% say that without even missing a heartbeat. So that can be just something you guys can plan on. I figured probably more than the last couple of weeks, that is probably one people would be really excited to see. But anyway, I think this has been great. Obviously, this week, collecting weekly, got plenty of going on. It'll be interesting to see what you guys have to talk about tomorrow night, or what you guys can talk about tomorrow night. But, so we have still some stuff. I will unfortunately not have the Airborne Trooper anymore that I had mentioned previously about unboxing, because I did have to sell that figure. Like, I literally never even got it out of the shipper box. Because a friend was nice enough to pick it up from me. But I had a great night with you guys all. Thanks for being here with me with this wonderful figure. I appreciate it, guys.
Love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you, everybody.